Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining me and Sparhawk tonight for an exciting game. We have Brawl is Life versus Phoenix Rising Topaz. Sparhawk, how are you doing tonight?
I am in a really good place. I am feeling really, really good.
Excellent. Me too, man. Me too. I had a good weekend. We've got a really exciting match here. These are two of some of the best teams in Heroic Division, so this is going to be a great time. Looks like we are going to Towers of Doom for the first map. We have everyone ready in the lobby. We are just about ready to jump into that draft screen. Let's just type here that casters are ready. So this is, I believe, the 2nd seed versus the 7th. Is that correct, Sparhawk?
It's 2nd versus the 8th.
2nd versus the 8th. Okay. I know last week we had a big upset on Division B West with the 8th seed taking out the 1st seed in playoffs. So just because this is the 2nd versus the 8th does not mean it's not going to be a competitive matchup. Like I said, we have two really good teams here, and we should be ready to go. Just waiting on Brawl is Life here to say they are ready, and then we'll be jumping into the match here. Alright, and here we are, jumping into the draft. Turn down this music a smidge here so we can get those wonderful hot sounds going. Alright, Towers of Doom here. Two bands coming out from both teams. We have a first pick for, I believe, Brawl is Life. Am I saying that right, Sparhawk? I think so. We'll see what Brawl is Life here starts with the band. Now, AoE Rules, known for being the North American best Vala. Would expect to see a Vala ban here. We'll see how that works and what comes of that. Looks like we may have a little bit of a lobby issue here, but we should be able to go. Looks like someone's telling me the music is a bit loud. Let's go ahead and turn that down even more. Okay, first ban, of course, is that Vala targeting AoE Rules. And Sparhawk, I'm not sure if you're there, but I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Now you're back.
I forgot that I need to push the button to talk.
That helps. That helps.
Alright, and a Gul'dan band coming from Phoenix Rising. I'm wondering if that's a targeted ban or just to get rid of maybe some displacement.
I think one of the players on Brawl is Life is known for being an extraordinary Gul'dan player. So I think that may be targeting him. I think it might be Death by Maze, judging from one of the previous ones.
And the Cassia ban. That's a good ban.
Yeah. So they're choking the DPS players here. 4 ranged assassin bans here. First pick here going to Brawl is Life. And chat is saying we have respect bans going from both sides. And this is very big here. AoE Rules, his hero pool is typically known for Vala being his best and his second best being possibly Sylvanas. And both of those plucked away from him here, Sparhawk.
Well, to make it this far, I'm sure he has the third one trickling up his sleeve. You know he's going to pull out, and I'm sure he will do awesome on that.
Checking in.
Mard and Lothar, grab Anna and Hanzo. Two good people for this map, that's for sure, especially Hanzo.
Yep. Chat is letting me know that there is some technical difficulties with the video here, some overlays. We'll have to deal with that probably after the cast, but for now, do you see it, Sparhawk? Looks like there's double...
yes.
Yeah.
It looks like, I think the in-game one of the in-game headings has decided to make a home on the drafting board. That's how important this match is.
It is. We get double screens here. So on Team Brawler's Life here, we have two very important pickups here. We have Stukov, Vivanche, known for, or at least recently becoming known for his Stukov play. We actually interviewed him recently, and he is very strong on that. Gazlo, of course, busted in the meta right now. An incredible offlane hero to pick up. And we see an Imperious ban from Brawler's Life, perhaps looking for a main tank Imperious to say bye. Don't want to have to deal with that here.
I like the Anubarak ban. That just shows that Phoenix Rising is going to be going into a semi-ranged, and they don't want a noob causing havoc back there. So I love the Mephisto, and I love the Sonya.
Interesting here. From Phoenix Rising Topaz, they have a very pokey composition here, and of course the Ana Mephisto combo is going to work great, but I am a little concerned about their ability to kill something like Diablo, one of the highest health pool tanks in the game. If they can poke them back and get them their entire team low health, they should be able to channel these altars on Towers of Doom. Oh, and they steal the Tychus from them in case they were thinking about putting that in there. That being said, though, that Diablo might be a problem for Phoenix Rising Topaz. We'll see what Lean and Clean here decides to pick up for his tank.
Mal'Ganis, I think, would be pretty decent here. May would also be a good option for the crowd control. Oh, going with a solid Joanna.
You can't go wrong with Jo.
No. Ever since day one, she's been a staple of tanks in the game, and everybody who can play a tank, everybody says, I always got my back pocket pick of Joanna.
Exactly. She's very rarely the wrong pick. All right, Sparhawk, we're going to go into this starting screen for NGS. We'll be back as soon as the loading is done.
Okay.
Alright, and coming back here into the loading screen, Towers of Doom, typically a map where you're going to see a double soaker mid and top. I'm assuming that's going to be Sonya for Golden here, and Gazlo for Drunk Dwarf, and then 4-man bottom. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Sparhawk, when we're ready into this match, would you do me the favor of introducing Brawler's Life on the left-hand side here?
Alright. For Brawler's Life.
I think you may have cut out there, Sparhawk. May need to press that button.
Yes, sorry. I see Drunk Dwarf on Gazlo, Vivanchi on Stukov, Sylvanas by Death by Maze, Diablo by Sweet Buns, and Death Strikes is playing the Tychus.
For Phoenix Rising Topaz, we have Lothar piloting the Hanzo, Lean Clean on Joanna, Golden on the Sonya, AoE Rules on Mephisto, Maeri on the Ana. Let's see how they clash here going into this mid lane. Level 1 talents are already picked up here. Reactive Ballista Spurs on Stukov. Everything looking pretty standard here. Hold your ground for Joanna. A little bit of poke damage coming out here, and as well as some friendly banter from these teams. They've played each other before. They know how good each other are. And they are also friends. Death Strike's taking a little bit of poke damage there. Oh, and we have a wall stun onto Joanna, but not a lot to show for it. Sweet One's capturing a little bit of poke damage here. Sylvanas already rotating down here to the bottom lane. Let's see if they interrupt this rotation here. Yes, this is heroic level play, and one of the things that separates that from some of the other leagues, is vision. Ooh, and a sleep on the Tychus here. Can he get out? There's an Ana grenade taking a lot of damage, trying to back up where he can. We have Lothar getting punished here by the tank. Lots of action already into this game. AoE Rules getting poke there onto the team. And this is one of the things that we were talking about in the draft screen that we're hoping Phoenix Rising can accomplish here. Is just getting a decent amount of poke damage out onto this team. Trying to make sure that when they do engage, the Brawler's life team is already at 50% health. Fortunately, though, they do have Avanche, one of the best Stukovs in the game right now, who can heal them back up there, Sparhawk.
Oh, I agree. And as we suspected, Sonya, Gazlo are doing the double soak. I believe Sonya's probably going to get the lead in this race, but you gotta wait. There's a fight going on. What's going on?
Oh, Death by Mace here taking a lot of damage. Maeri displaying a lot of skill there with his sleeps already in this game, setting a potential kill on the Death by Mace, but he was able to use his Banshee screen to get out of there. Lean and Clean very low here, 200 health, trying to get out of there. Death by Mace jumping in, trying to secure that kill, but goes down himself. Lean and Clean goes down as well. We have a big fight over this camp here. 2 members of Phoenix Rising Topaz go down, and Brawler's Life secures this camp. Well played from them, Sparhawk.
That was a great invade and takeover. It looked like Sonya was going to try and come down. She was just a little bit behind. But that was a really, really good invade. And they've got the wall all down now.
Yeah, that was interesting from them because Sylvanas kind of went ham in there. Ran in. I think she may have even face-checked that bush there. Got initially punished and then turned the fight around. There's a wall stun onto Lothair. Maeri doing what he can to keep Lothair up and healthy. AoE rolls going in there, getting some poke damage out. And we have the first altar phase here. Lean Clean spotted in that bush. Looks like Sonya capturing this top right one, each respective off lane capturing the top altars there. There's a wall stun onto Lothair again, continually being targeted by Sweet Buns here. And the fight is going to move towards this middle altar here. Lean Clean already poked down. Death by Mace getting a lot of damage onto him. Sweet Buns trying to zone here. AoE, Lean and Clean both getting pretty low here. And there's a stun on Lean and Clean. He does go down. 4 members for Topaz trying to fight for this. Drunk Dwarf channeling that. And Lothair goes down to a flip from Diablo. So far, it looks like Brawler's Life is commanding this early game. What do you think the mid and late game is going to look like for these teams?
Well, I will say I want to commend Brawler's Life. I mean, they're showing a lot of aggression in this early game. I do honestly think when 10s get online, I think it will balance, and there's a great chance to turn into Phoenix Rising's favor. But they have to survive the early game and not give up too much.
They do indeed.
Too much burst.
I suspect here that the Ana Mephisto with a Blessed Shield is going to be very powerful for Phoenix Rising Topaz. The early game, though, definitely favored for Brawler's Life here. Avanche getting a lot of value off that level 7 target excision. And again, Brawler's Life choosing to not let Phoenix Rising Topaz have this camp. Diving in there on Lothair, using the heal grenade to try to keep him up. Lots of chaos here. People getting flipped around. There was a sleep that did allow Sylvanas to go down. Lean and Clean going in here and trying to clean up Avanche. Trying to walk away. 64 health and does go down. AoE rules going around here getting a lot of damage, but unfortunately not enough to keep Joanna alive. Sweet Buns running around here trying to see if he can possibly get a pick. He has been very effective on that Diablo there, Sparhawk.
Oh, definitely the Lord of Terror. I mean, definitely.
They're going for this camp here, Sparhawk. They see that there's only 1 minute left and they go for it. Maeri getting a beautiful double sleep here. Oh, and here's a 4v2 onto Sweet Buns, but there's a stun from Drunkdorf. Are they going to be able to take down Diablo? Ooh, Maeri does go down. Golden getting charged into the back line does go down as well. This is not good for Topaz, trying to secure this mid objective. AoE rules, Lothair, Lean Clean all backing up and saying, hey, this one's yours. We're not going to fight for that one.
Well, it's playing out as I saw. You're looking at damage. Tychus is already at 22,000. Mephisto's at 24. Hanzo's 25. I mean, they're putting out the numbers. They're just unable to lock that person down to get the kill.
Now Sparrock, if they do lose this bottom right fort here early into the game, this is going to be very difficult for them. This really needs to be held on here, and they need Joanna to walk up here and create some space, but it's also very scary. Diablo could flip at any time. AoE Rules trying to go in, but Sweet Bun's targeting him, trying to go in. Vivanche pushing Joanna all the way back to their fort. This is creating a 3v4 here. AoE Rules trying to get out, but there's a Stukov combo onto AoE, and he does go down. Wow, Brawler's Life taking a commanding position in this early game. And do we see a rotation here onto the mid? Looking like Phoenix Rising Topaz might starting to get backed into a corner here. I mean, look at the levels. We have from level 11 for Brawler's Life to level 9. And they're choking Golden here from being able to double sub Sparhawk.
Yes, they are. And watching that Vivanchi shove onto Joanna refreshed me that we did cast one of their games and we actually talked to him about that and how he's so pinpointing with his Dragon Arrow misses. That's a shame. I'm gonna really quick go over heroics for everybody.
Sure thing.
For those, we've got massive shoves for Stukov, grab a bomb of course, mind control for Sylvanas, so that could turn some tides. Commandeer Odin, no surprise, Apocalypse.
I may have interrupted here, Spark, because we do have a nano boost coming out on the AoE Rules. There's a Blessed Shield, but AoE does go down. And there's a toss onto Lean Clean trying to get out, but his health keeps going down from this constant poke from Sylvanas, despite a great double sleep from Maeri. This is 2 more deaths. What is the death count here? We have 10 kills for Brawler's Life to 3, and those ultimate abilities definitely came into play there, Spark. Feel free to finish that off as we have Death Strikes channeling this bottom altar.
Yes, I'll quickly finish off them. We have you've seen the Nano Boost, the Blessed Shield, and the Dragon's Arrow, which we've seen, although it whiffed. Right? So, I mean, they have the tools to make a comeback. The game isn't over until the last shot hits the bell. So, let's see if they can just regroup as a team and say, okay, let's do what we have to do.
And Stukov here does have his level 13 power spike that root. AoE Rules trying to get some damage out there. Seeing if he is able to get a Stukov combo here, but looks like the call is to maybe back. Oh, now we're going for a pick here, trying to get Lean Clean. The name of the game here for Brawler's Life is to hold this bottom right altar for as long as they can, and there's a push on the AoE Rules. And we're seeing Brawler's Life walk these pumpkin camps in time and time again, creating a 36 health point to 13 advantage for Brawler's Life. And look at this interesting play here. They're rotating Sylvanas up, making it impossible for Golden to double soak, and trying to also take this middle shrine. This is a very interesting shot call here. And Death by Maze does go down to Golden. Great job there. There's a sweep onto Gazlowe. Golden trying to spin around and get some damage there. Great job from Topaz. Recognizing a gank where it was possible. Here we go into the next altar phase. Vivanche taking a little bit of poke damage there from Golden. Having to pop his burst heal to get back. Ooh, and there's the arrow, and it does not connect. We do have Lotha here trying to solo this top camp as we move into the next altar phase here. We are seeing level 14 to level 12 talent tier advantage here, Sparhawk.
Yes, and does Topaz want to try to invade and go for those kills?
Guessing not with these 2 deaths that just came out for them. And are they able to turn this around here? Death Strikes is getting pretty low. Are they going to continue to fight? AoE Rules getting wrestled around here from the Lord of Terror. He's probably going to go down here from Drunkdorf. There's a mind control onto Lean Clean. This is 4 kills to 0, 14 to 5, as they're most likely going to be able to channel both of these objectives. Your health pings coming out onto this altar. Is Lothar going to be able to disrupt this? Or what's the call here? Interesting. They're backing off. They're not channeling it. They're going for a boss, Sparhawk.
Well, I'm surprised. I mean, they're not... It looks like they're not engaging on another tower. So, I mean, they could be baiting. I mean, they know it's game, right? They have the advantage, same talent here, but they've been pretty much bullying Phoenix Rising all game.
They have.
And now it forces Phoenix Rising, okay, you gotta make super play.
The AoE did interrupt it. There's a root combo on the Maeri and a push out for Lean Clean. Golden trying to spin and do what he can. There's an hold out from AoE Rules. It does bring Stukov down, but Maeri's very low in the backline, 200 health. Death by Maze going down. Here's a huge counter engage from Phoenix Rising Topaz. Sweet Bun's doing what he can to try to stop Lothair in the backline. Maeri trying to get that poison damage up. And Phoenix Rising Topaz managed to buy themselves some breathing room here with a 5-man team wipe. Wow. Incredible team fight there, Sparhawk.
Now is when they have to take advantage, grab camps, and try and secure that, at least that bottom keep on their side so they can have sapper pressure going in.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonya can always go back and take their tower. But it looks like they are deciding to hit both sapper camps because they knew the first one would get through for a wall and try and push the second one in. But that was a really nice fight. They're still down 16, so they need to be cautious. That's for sure.
They absolutely do. And this is going to be an uphill battle for the remainder of this game for Topaz. 33 shots they're going to need to burn through. So that means they're going to need to win more or less every team fight going here on out, because the next altar, any altar, is lethal for Phoenix Rising Topaz here. And again, this strategy of trying to choke Golden out here of the double soak is working very effectively here. The cerebral gameplay from Phoenix Rising, from Brawl's Life doing well. Golden here trying to get some poke damage out, but getting poked out himself, having to take a sip from the fountain there. Let's see if they're able to reclaim some of their territory here. It looks like what we see on this map is sometimes, or perhaps even frequently, teams are able to retake their bottom right altar, but we haven't seen that yet. And for Phoenix Rising to get back into this game, they're going to need to secure all three of these. They're going to need to be everywhere at once, Sparhawk.
Yes, the advantage is they are on the same talent here, so they need to kind of put someone everywhere.
They do, and the call here is fight. Is Sonya going to get this top left here? Because if that channels, that's going to be game here. Here's an APOC coming out onto Maeri. Getting very low here. There's a sleep to try to save his life, and there are the 4 shots onto Phoenix Rising Topaz's core. Holy cow, Sparhawk. Wow, that was a dominating game from Brawl's Life.
The slobber knocker. That was a slobber knocker. Sorry.
No, you're totally right. That was a slobber knocker. I am not going to lie. I am impressed with Brawl's Life there. They played very well. Let's go ahead and update our map screen here as we go to the end of end of game summary here. What stands out to you here, Sparhawk?
Well, Stukov with 74,000 healing, and Anna only able to do 45, which is it's still good numbers, but it wasn't enough. But the damage, I mean, Hanzo 72, Mephisto 69. The damage did exactly what they should have done: hurt people. Yes. And on the other side, their top DPS was Tychus at 53. So the damage dealers for Phoenix Rising did what they needed, but they couldn't get the sustained damage to get the kills.
That's correct.
Until later. They needed their 10s to come online, and they weren't able to capitalize fully when it presented itself.
What I was seeing that game is the shot calling. Where players were that game was incredible. As soon as they got a single advantage, which I believe started just from that camp steal very early in the game, they did not give Phoenix Rising Topaz an inch of breathing room at all. We noticed there they were choking out that Sonya, not allowing her to double soak. They did not relent that bottom right fort. Really strong play. Now, I do have a very important question for you, Sparhawk, from chat. We have This Is Covey asking, what the heck is a slobber knocker?
I thought everybody knew what a slobber knocker was. Maybe it is a Canadian term, so thank you, Corrosive. Right? That's like a destruction, a domination. Things along those lines. just to the next advantage. It was an old boxing term, right? I think it came from the early Irish when they would have a lot of their brawls over certain things to get into topics, and they just start beating the crap out of people, and some people were slobbering and some were knocking, and from there just came over with the immigrants to Canada, and now we have it as a word, and I've introduced you to it.
You're getting a little bit of culture here in
Yeah,
this
well, that's the
task
best BS.
chat. Did you know that? You're getting cultured. Looks like we're going to Infernal Shrines for our second map, which is probably everyone's favorite map. I know it's my favorite map. Very close second would be Braxis. But who doesn't like Infernal Shrines, Sparhawk?
People who don't know how to play it properly would be my guess.
That's true, but
I'm
it has
sorry to
John
say.
Cena. How can you not love John Cena? He's so.
Uh, yep, I 100% agree. Um, make it work. Uh, I mean, everybody knows this map. Everybody knows this map. And it's probably one of the most common two-laner maps three-lane maps for people to play on. So you really got to watch your strategy. I mean, you can double soak with ease.
Lots of camps on this map, too.
Yes. Yes. Just wasn't sure about the visitors we had.
Yes, we're having a few invaders. We have 3 invaders in the lobby here. See what the heck is going on. A little bit of confusion as we're creating this lobby, but more to the point, Infernal Shrines, a lot of wave clear focus on this because the shrine, of course, has those 39 little dudes that need to explode. So people like Sonya, heroes like Joanna, definitely going to be prioritized here. Alright. We're about to jump here into the draft screen, and again, for those who may just be joining us, we are having a little bit of visual clutter on the draft screen. It looks like there may be a bug there, so please bear with us if there is a little bit of that visual glitch that's showing up there. Heading into the draft screen here momentarily, is there anything you're expecting from either of these teams, Sparhawk?
I would like to see Topaz possibly bring in a more condensed solo laner, somebody who can do double lane quick if you want to go that route, like Leo or Urel. The knockback on the shrines would be really good. Be cautious for what mages you're willing to give up and what you're willing to let go through. And just like I say to all the teams, after you lose one, just it's only one, right? We're not. I mean, it's a whole new series, and Phoenix Rising Emerald had proved it last week that they did have what it takes to win 2. So I'm thinking Topaz is leaning onto Emerald's shoulder right now, saying, "Okay, guys, they did it. We can do it."
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Do you think there's going to be any bans coming out based on that may have changed perhaps based on either the map or what we saw in the previous game?
No, I think we're going to be seeing the same bans pretty much. Maybe the Cassia doesn't get banned. Maybe. It would depend on the teams and what they feel, but I mean, one of my favorite tanks for this map is either literally Diablo or Mal'Ganis. Yes. Mal'Ganis has such strong presence, and he can delay. And they might want to think about banning Stukov from Babanchi. He's kind of proven that you don't want to give me Stukov, right?
I mean, one of the things we saw that last match, maybe 3 times, if I count correctly, Vivanche created a 3v4 or some numerical hero advantage by simple virtue of his Stuki arm. He just pushed him the heck out of there. Like, that was incredible.
It was very incredible.
I mean, all I can say is if I were ever to play against Vivanche, I'm banning that Stukov. 110%. I am banning that.
Oh, sure. I mean, you have to. I mean, like I said, even if you stick to the same bans, the Gul'dan is fine, because I know Brawl likes to play it. Maybe ban the Stukov and put them on another healer, because if you give them Viv what they want, they are going to punish you for it.
Yes, yes, they will indeed. And there, of course, are the same exact two bans we saw as Game 1. The Vala ban coming out specifically targeting AoE rules, and the Gul'dan ban. This Gul'dan, someone in chat should shout out and let me know who this Gul'dan ban is targeting, because if I understand correctly, I believe this is a targeted ban on Death by Maze, if I remember correctly. I would look at his profile here, but I am, of course, the camera. Spahawk, do you see anything about that? Do you see someone that has like an insane win rate on Gul'dan, or someone that plays that a lot for Team Brawl's Life? And we are seeing, this is interesting, we're seeing a Sylvanas ban come out from Team Phoenix Rising Topaz. Interesting. The Crushinator here rating us with a party of 32. Thank you very much, Crush.
Hey, Crush.
And there is that Cassia ban here. We don't
So now,
want to deal with
do
that.
you want to pick the Stukov? I mean, I don't know if there's really a need, but if you don't, you know who's getting it, you know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean,
But there's a
zone
lot of
control.
walls, so when you're on points, I mean, Viv would actually have to play more strategically in order to get a good shove arm, because there's so many barriers that surround the objectives.
And they're letting Vivanche have this Stuki here, prioritizing Maeri. And Maeri, no slouch on Ana either. I mean, the number of double sleeps we got in that last game was incredible. He kept his teammates alive. Like, Maeri has been one of the best Anas I've seen this entire season. Not just in Heroic Division, but across Storm, CCL. I think he might be one of the underrated healers in Heroic Division. I don't see enough people singing his praises. I mean, this might be a matchup where we have some of the best healers in the league. Of course, every player is great, but these healers really stand out to me. For Team Brawl's Life, we have the Chromie and the Imperious, a very blow up. These two heroes are definitely saying, hey, we're going to blow you up. We're going to kill you real quick here. There's, interesting, the same two picks coming out from the previous game. We have the Ana and the Mephisto. But here's where things deviate a little bit. We have Lothar piloting the Rainer there, Sparhawk.
I like the Rainer pick. If he was to go extermination, he'll be able to clear the waves pretty quick, clear John Cena pretty quick. And as for you, Panda, you're a funny guy, man. That's all I have to say, right?
Someone in chat trolling.
They're trolling about my little game when I cast it for them.
Oh, the tiny screen, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Gazlo ban and a Joanna ban. I really like both of these here. Gazlo would be absolutely horrific to see on the point here with his area denial. And plus he's just busted either way. And then Joanna, one of the more comfortable tanks that Lean and Clean is able to play here, banning that out, and also just great on the point. And again, Sparhawk, what do we see?
Yeah, that Stukov and Diva could definitely be an issue.
Yes.
Depends if they're going Imperious main tank, and they're going to go for pushing, or if they're going to grab an actual tank. Because a lot of people are playing in. I mean, Diva can offlane. I mean, you can easily put Imperious and Diva in a lane, and they are going to hold that lane.
Yes.
Imperious, he loses to some, but I love the URL and ETC pick, though. That's a good counter combination.
Yes, I like this pick here, because what Urel is able to do is disrupt Vivanche here, who's been a powerhouse on that Stukov. He's able to disrupt that backline of also Chromie and prevent a lot of that damage and the silence from Stukov from actually hitting their mark. And then ETC, of course, probably even still the best tank in the game, despite his nerf. And Tassadar here coming out. Did I just see a double mage come out here for Brawler's Life? That is a very blow-up composition.
Unfortunately, that's a standstill composition. Tassadar has to stand. He has to stand still to cast, to have success with his abilities because of channeling. Chromie's the same way, other than her sand blasts. I like Diva. Depends on the build the Diva goes, but I'm not going to criticize heroic teams. I mean, I just know how I like to play Diva,
Yeah.
and I love the ETC. Now let me ask you, dropping, you thinking it's going to be a mosh with all the interrupts on the other team, or a stage dive?
That's a very good question. I think now, for me, when I played ETC, it was always mush. I don't care if it's against a Li Ming. Like I always go mush, like literally every single time. Because even when you go mush, they still have to hold up their ults. At this high level game, I can't say 100%, but what I can say is, can you do us the honors of introducing Brawl's Life? How is that transition, chat?
All right. For Brawl is Life, we have Stukov on Vivanche again. It's going to be scary. Imperius, played by Sweet Buns, that's probably main tank. Imperius. Diva, by Drunk Dwarf. Chromie is being played by Death Strikes. And Tassadar is played by Death by Maze. And over on the Phoenix Rising Topaz side, Seth.
Golden piloting that Urel, who's going to be my player to watch this game. His ability to disrupt this backline may be what makes or breaks his team. Maeri on the Ana, Lean Clean on the ETC, Lothair on Jimmy Boy, and Mephisto piloted by AoE Rules. Setting up here in the bush, Urel getting stabbed right out of the gate here. And Diva doing what she does best at just disrupting all of these heroes. And there's a stab again onto Golden twice in a row here. Oh, and looks like I need to switch the overlay. Thank you, Champ, for reminding me of that. And there's a slide onto Death By Maze, but it does not connect. Your team's getting ready for the rotations. And the team, Phoenix Rising Topaz, is actually a little spooked because of this bush here. But there's a sleep onto Sweet Buns. Vivanche using silence to try to defend. And it looks like chat is telling me that the sound is a little bit loud, so I'm actually going to go ahead and lower that here just a little bit so you can hear us a little bit better. And we're seeing a camping picked up here on the left. What team here do you think favors camp clear, Sparhawk?
Honestly, I got to give it to Brawl. Phoenix Rising early on. I mean, Raynor didn't go Executioner. He went ace in the hole.
Oh, so Lothair goes down here. We had a rotation there, and there's a stab onto Lean Clean, but it did not connect. But we did see a wall that forced him to be disconnected from his team. And this is the same story as we saw as game one. Is Brawler's Life went for very aggressive early game camp invades that got them ahead in XP or kills or both, and Team Phoenix Rising Topaz just wasn't able to compete and get back in the game once that happened. We'll see if they're able to learn from their mistakes here and see if they're able to regroup here, Spellhawk.
I have to say, I'm impressed with the start. Again, they came out aggressing, knowing they had the early advantage with their whole team. And looking at the heroes, like the Diva, the Tassadar and such, it's like we're bringing the bronze meta to Hero League. I can't. It's so exciting to see.
It's some familiar picks here, right?
Very familiar picks.
All right, pardon the interruption. They're going into this objective phase. We are seeing Brawl's Life picking up their camp, and no camp for Phoenix Rising Topaz, but we do see a couple pings on that here. Sweet Bun's very low here, and he does go down to a
nice
Jimmy
kill.
Q. Great job from Lothair securing that there. Golden trying to disrupt where he can, and we're seeing a camp here top, and Drunk Dwarf pushing that. What's going to be the response here from Team Phoenix Rising Diamond?
They need to get Lothair healed up.
They do.
I mean,
very low. Oh, barely dodging
heal.
that Chromie Dragon's Breath there. There's a Stukov combo onto Lean and Clean, and this forces Phoenix Rising Topaz to have to back a little bit, heal up. And additionally, Golden here not able to disrupt the backline yet, as he did have to clear that camp. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, gathering for this objective phase here. This is going to be exciting. This is the first 5v5 we've seen this match. Golden, the player to watch, is he going to be able to disrupt this backline here? There's a sleep onto Tassadar there. Golden does dive in, And we are seeing Diva. Oh my goodness, here we have a stab into a Diva bomb, which does bring down Jimmy there. Lean and Clean taking a lot of damage. This is now 4v5. Phoenix Rising Topaz probably is going to back off here, and wisely so, Sparhawk.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those times where you reset, let them take the Punisher. I mean, the John Cena. Yeah, it's a Punisher. Sorry, I was confused with BOE for a sec.
No worries there.
The downside is, you know, how much value is Brawl going to get from this, right? Like, I have a feeling they're going to be going for keep wall. And they may get some towers down before it happens. They
very well may here. Lean and Clean trying to get this John Cena jump out here. And this is very interesting here. Normally on this phase here, you see, particularly the Punisher phase, you only see towers being taken. Getting all towers and the keep, excuse me, the fort, and the front towers of the keep. This is looking very good for Teams Brawl's Life here as they go for a camp invade. As well, Crushinator here in chat confirming John Cena is the technical name. Yes.
Thank you, Crush.
Crushinator. Yep. Helping us out.
I knew I was getting confused when I called it a Punisher.
Big wave here on the bottom here, and we're seeing 4 players from Brawler's Life trying to push in here, backing off a little bit as Golden steps up, getting caught there in that Chromie time trap. Camp here, pushing the mid lane.
Okay, I thought Mechatastadar was advanced skin. Maybe they're allowing it, or maybe but I really like the build to a degree that the Tastadar is going. He's going the trait build, getting value off of that.
Here's a camp invade. We're seeing some pings come out here. Are they going to be able to get away? Sweet Bun's very dangerous on that Imperious. He's landed many spears. AoE trying to bait that out there. There's a slide onto Imperious. Getting a lot of poke damage out AoE rules. He has played a great... Oh, and Maeri caught by the Tassadar wall. Are we going to see a stun? Instead, we see a Stukov weighted pustule onto him, and Sweet Bun's forced to pop Angelic Armaments. Retreat pings coming out. Is he going to try to get that onto Lean and Clean? Oh, he actually gets it onto the fort there on the bottom. 10s coming out here for Brawler's Life, but no 10s for Phoenix Rising Topaz there, Sparhawk.
If they can, they should be able to have their 10s before the next objective spawns. And that will put them, I think, in a better contentious position.
One thing that's interesting here, tell me what you think about this temporal loop coming out from Chromie instead of slowing sands. Perhaps a little bit off meta, considering Medallion is able to counter that.
Already like it. You know, if you're wrong or off, if you use your Medallion and it's on cooldown, you know, you don't even have to describe what's going to happen to you if that goes off. So now it makes Phoenix Rising more aware. You know, they have to pay attention to when they use their amulet. Now all
here's a stun onto AoE rules, but a great counter sweep from Maeri into Endurance of Hate, I believe, and here's the nano coming out onto AoE, but the stab onto Maeri. The mosh pit does not connect, unfortunately. Lothair caught in the backline, getting double ulted there, and he is going to go down. AoE rules doing what he can to try to get out there, but he is stabbed. And here's the Diva Bomb blocking the escape vector there. Lean and Clean gonna take the brunt of that. Golden getting pushed back into towers there. Is he gonna go down? He has to pop his absorbing ultimate there to try to keep himself alive. AoE, barely alive there. Golden, is he gonna be able to escape here? Remember, he has no ultimate to get out, and he does go down. Brawler's Life commanding Game 1 and Game 2 here, despite some incredible play from Phoenix Rising Topaz.
Oh, I have to agree. I mean, you know, Brawler's Life knew what they had to do, and they just didn't come to play. You know, well, if they came to play, they came to play with a lot of attitude. They're just having their way right now.
They
you know, 5-2 in kills, and the level disparity is pretty close. But Phoenix Rising has to find a way to regroup, or they're going to get into a position where they may not be able to recover. Because this Punisher...
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this Punisher's coming down here. We have level 13 coming out for Brawler's life, this is going to be a difficult time for Phoenix Rising Topaz to come back, but it is absolutely not game yet here. They are only down a level. They still have all of their keeps, at least for the time being. Let's see how they position here for this bottom protector defense. Maeri AoE rules getting into position here, lean and clean. A little bit spooked by that John Cena jump there, knowing that the second it jumps they might go down to an Imperious stab. It looks like this keep is going to have to be sacrificed in order to kill this Immortal here. Sweet Bun's positioning, looking for any sign of a stab to blow up. And we haven't seen... Oh, there's a John Cena jump onto AoE rules there with a sleep, trying to stop Drunkdorf from going and causing a lot of disruption. And there's a Durms on to Tassadar, but the Medallion saves him there. Lean and clean, getting pretty low and backing up. Diva hopping around here, getting some stuns out, forcing the Medallion out of AoE rules, and he is very low and does go down. Sweet Buns getting these stabs off, and there's a Stukov combo. This might be game here, Sparhawk. This is incredible. Lean and clean, trying to mount a defense here. Maeri getting jumped there, and there's the Diva Bomb. The core is at 30%, 20%, 15%. This might be game here for Brawl is Life. A clean 2-0. GG. Holy cow there, Sparhawk. What do you make of that game?
They came out to play. I loved the Tassadar play. Taking the trait build does nothing. Once you finish it, all it does is put damage on everything around what you're hitting. So they definitely utilized that really well. I was really impressed with the comp. In fact, it was so impressive I have to give MVP to the team, because I didn't really see very many flaws in their execution whatsoever.
I mean, I'm no heroic level player, but I did not see very many, if any, issues with Brawler's Life there. And their shot calling was very aggressive, and it definitely worked out for them. Let me reach out here to the team here, Sparhawk, and see if I'm able to set up a winner's interview. Give me one moment here.
All right, you do that. I'll go over the final numbers as everybody can see. Really not like Stukov with 34,000 healing, Anna 29, ETC with 166. So good for you, ETC. But the damage, it was such a short game. There was no time to really stack it. You know, Chromie and Trassadar 22, 24, and Mephisto at 24. I mean, low damage numbers, a very aggressive team. So very well played by Brawler's Life. I mean, they are definitely sending a signal to the rest of Heroic that we didn't come to play.
Yeah, they are there ready to take them on. It looks like we are going to have a interview, so let me just tell them to jump into Lobby 1 in NGS. Sparhawk, I'll meet you in Lobby 1 in NGS. I'll see you right there. Alright, and let's jump back to that game summary here. Sparhawk was talking about some of those salient numbers there. Let's see if we can get that back onto the screen here. And we are back to stats. Okay, we have Sweet Buns, and I know how to pronounce your name this time, Vivanche. How you guys doing?
Gosh. First time!
No, none of us on his team pronounce his name right.
No.
What does that say about your team? Come on, you've been together a whole season. Gentlemen.
He never corrects us.
Well,
he maybe corrected us one time.
Why would I do that? No.
All that matters is the play, right?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, how are you feeling? You just had a 2-0 dominating victory in the playoffs.
I would say there was a lot of keeping our heads cool. There was a lot of me getting overzealous myself. And
yelling at
everybody in the gang. Oh yeah, being loud is what being tank is all about.
Really, what he's saying is talking over people, right? That's the tank player's job at the end of the day. So jumping into this first question here, one of the things I want to talk about is first of all, who's your shot caller?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. It's yes. And I noticed you guys were exceedingly aggressive. In these shot calls. You had early game camp invades, and you were not afraid to fight them without a talent to your advantage. Can you guys just tell me about what went into that decision?
I would say when you think of who has the advantage early game, you're thinking of who has better point control, who has the scarier health bars on point. In some cases, that might be Johanna, but we don't respect early game Johanna CC, which was a big reason we invaded early game in the first one.
That makes sense there. Go ahead.
Of course, CC doesn't scale, and that's a big value you're going to have. Chromie AoE value is a lot of little things to measure. In addition to just Stukov being on point, bits and pieces like that. Like, these are the kind of estimates we'll make during draft and while the game's loading, like whether or not we can invade early camps with a good like expectation of success. Other fights we took because we had other advantages positions on the map in a risk versus reward scenario. A good example was in Infernal Shrines, where he had a camp pushing, and we took the 5v5 in the bottom despite being even talent tiers.
Yeah, I mean, your shot calling there was definitely very cerebral. That was something that Sparhawk and I were commenting on, your ability to have it down almost to a science. You knew what you could do, and you knew the fights that you could win. So props to you there. I had one more question for you, Sweet Buns. Maybe it's more of a compliment. Your Diablo play was oppressive. And I have to say, like, I want to know if that pick was deliberate, because in the draft screen, Sparhawk and I were chatting about the damage that Phoenix Rising Topaz had, and how I was concerned that they might not be able to kill a Diablo. Was that something in your brain as you were going through?
Auto attack Diablo is just oppressive and always a consideration in the draft, especially in bottom half.
Yes.
And as for me being oppressive on Diablo, we had a good little mix of shot calls at one point where a lot of the team was low mana or dead, but I had 100 souls, and I'm like, guys, I am standing on this point. Come and join me. I'm gonna have a good time on this.
Mixed, we meant that everyone wanted to retreat, but Sweet Buns was like, nah, I'm having a rave over here.
I mean, that's the thing. If I had to sum up those games in a word, I would say confident. You guys were confident. You invaded early, you invaded often, and you gave no quarter here.
Oh, yes.
For Phoenix Rising Topaz to come back. I have one more question for you guys, then I'll jump over to Sparhawk for his questions. I have to just ask you guys, what was the thought process going into Double Mage Imperious?
Into Double Mage Imperious, personally, I don't approve of Double Mage into URL, especially if, in this case, both of our mages had wind up on their attacks. Both of our mages rely in some way or form of the enemy standing still. I think Tassadar and Chromie are both quite terrible into URL.
Yeah, that's something that we were talking about.
And so that is something we were heavily sweating about as the loading screen came about. If I could have it another way, I would have had something more like Tychus into URL. I would have Raynor into URL. Other bits and pieces. Maybe even another frontliner, depending on how their clump punish was. I believe they had Hanzo Mephisto, so their clump punish is kind of fantastic and kind of scary to go triple frontliner into, but yeah.
That last game, it was Raynor Mephisto.
Raynor Mephisto, yes.
We couldn't tell they dropped too quickly.
Oh, a little bit of a burn coming out here from Brawl's life, but perhaps deserved. You guys did indeed play very well. Sparhawk, over to you, my friend.
I have a couple questions. When you played your Diablo, did you go the auto attack build for self-sustain and all that?
Oh yes, of course. Auto attack build's busted if it's not countered.
I 100% agree with you, because I tell my team all the time, it's like, why are you guys running? I got this, right?
Absolutely. 100 souls on a point, without the enemy team, without enough DPS from the enemy team, they are not going to be able to take me off.
Stun into? Yeah, no, you played a really, really, really good Diablo in that first game. I was very impressed.
Other times, you may see me positioning too far as tank, because especially when I'm playing Garrosh or a very hard engaged tank, I like the bluff. I like them to think my team is behind me, and the positioning on the map is very different from what it is. I'll take a look at my team, of like how much my team is showing on the map, and I'll determine if I'll bluff or not.
Well, like I say, you guys played so disciplined and aggressive. I knew from like the start of the first map that you guys came out to win, is the only way to say it. I mean, Towers of Doom, I think the final was 32-0.
Oh,
Right.
There was actually something I'm surprised you guys didn't ask about where we didn't take the altar and the balls to win the game. That was
Yes.
just me being dumb.
No,
I was yelling to do that,
yeah.
but Sweet Buns was talking over me.
Oh yeah,
We
being
thought,
loud.
I'm not kidding, we
What
thought
I-
it was a
what I-
2000
talked
IQ
over
play.
him.
We thought
What
it was
I
a
thought-
2000
yeah.
IQ play there.
Really?
Yeah.
what I thought was you guys
Go
were gonna cap it. Then you're like, well, we already know we can aggress them, right? So let's take boss. If they want to fight it, they can. It's like you were taunting them or teasing them. There's still an objective
yeah.
up. You have a
The
chance.
2000 IQ bad manners play.
We actually could have
Very
just
bad
easily
numbers,
won
right?
there if we
Yeah,
split the
seriously.
team a little bit, grab the altar, and then straight go to boss, but we didn't
Yeah.
do that.
Well, you actually needed the next set of 3 to actually win the game.
Yeah,
already
we had that.
Yes, it does.
It was eight.
Yeah.
It was 8 core health.
Yeah,
we would have
yeah.
gotten the
Yeah.
altar, then we would have got the boss. Instant win.
I just I didn't register the numbers for the instant win because I didn't think we'd be that far ahead by that point in the game.
Well, you guys were. You played
Oh, yeah.
both games, how you belong and, where you belong. You show that you're a dominant team and, people have to break up your chemistry if they're going to win a game off of you, right? And from what I watched tonight, I think your chemistry's tied together. You guys are a really strong team. And if I ever meet you guys in a dark alley, I'm just going to run away.
Oh yeah.
Taking my computer with me.
Any other questions, Sparhawk?
I'm just going to say that was a very well-deserved slobber knocking.
That's something
Exactly.
that's a Canadian term if you don't know. Sparhawk was informing us about that earlier in the cast. But yeah, very, very well deserved, guys. Confident play coming out from Brawler's Life. And unless there's anything else, Sparhawk, I'm gonna pass it off to Sweet Buns and Vivanche for shoutouts. What you guys got?
Oh. I'm going to let them do their shoutouts and just great games, guy. Can't wait to see you again.
All right, Venture Q, take these shoutouts.
Yeah. Thanks for casting. I always have to give that spiel. We always have to do that.
Notice how I still pronounce his name wrong after you guys corrected me.
That was purposeful. I mean, that was love.
I get that. I want to give a shout out to Phoenix Rise and Topaz. Took it like champs. Hopefully they weren't too mad at us. I love playing, no matter who the opponent is, and they were a really nice team to fight. Both games, like last week, they were still really kind, and we did that little gentleman's agreement.
Yes, I was
think.
surprised you guys didn't do it again. I was hoping to see the Vala and Gul'dan we played. Oh, that's what I want to ask you. Who was your Gul'dan player that makes
Yes.
Gul'dan it from you?
Thank you.
Death by Maze.
That's what
Yeah.
we were thinking.
Okay.
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 Is he known for being an insane Gul'dan boy?
100%.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Just
what we
look
were
at-
thinking.
Look at Gul'dan's win rate in NGS or in general statistics. You see that 75%
It's
rate of
83.3%,
destruction.
isn't it?
Yeah, the 83% rate of destruction win rate. That's because of us.
Wow. Literally influencing the world around you guys. Awesome. Okay, anything else before we conclude the interview?
I want to shout out to Sweet Bun's mom. Always supportive.
Oh, that's-
She did not make a showing. I'm not sure where he's getting this from, but okay.
Don't worry. She called me beforehand and wished me luck.
That was very nice.
Mama Buns, what?
Mama Buns.
And that's where all the Stukov pushes came from. It was all for Sweet Bun's mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could brag on your Stukov again here, but we did that last cast, so yeah, we got. We'll only give you one brag. We bragged on the.
You still had
Diablo
good
this time.
pushes. I mean, your shoves were still good. Not as godlike as last week, I'm sorry, right? But you did have a few really good ones.
Yes.
Well, a 3-pointer on the URL was still pretty nice.
I mean that's
Yes.
true. You pushed her back
We're
into
very good
powers.
depth
Like
on
that
your
was. That was. Very
It's not a
good.
half court, but pretty good.
Yeah,
I also did that against Joanna.
okay, well now we're just
Oh.
letting you brag.
I
here.
know, but you know what? I might join basketball one of these days, but I'm not going to main Aspedan. Thank you guys for casting, and we'll see you maybe later.
Fuck, guys.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. All right, here. Thank you guys so much for joining us here in the chat. Appreciate it. Thanks again to my buddy and my partner in crime here, Sparhawk, for joining me in these casts. And everyone have a wonderful and safe Sunday evening. Thanks again, guys.
Pleasure casting for you guys. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.